Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda Grace, also known as Allied Stitches. And today I thought that we would organize my yarn stash. More so cataloging and making an inventory of my yarn stash. The plan is to have a better sense of like how much yarn I have going into the year, and the end of the year the hope is to be able to have a clearer way of seeing how much yarn I've used. I used a lot of yarn last year. These are all the skeins that I used last year, and these are all my leftover labels for them. So I have a lot that I used. I know in general I did good at using up my yarn. I was like mostly on a yarn ban last year, as a lot of us are. From what I can just like tell from my stash, I know that I used up a good amount, but I also know that I started doing a market last year and I have a lot of yarn from that. Hopefully you guys stick around and stay tuned to see all the yarn. This is also a forced excuse for me to organize my yarn as well, because I have a lot of yarn and I feel like I started doing a good job of organizing it, and I've kind of tried to like reorganize a little bit this year, but it's starting to get to the point where I feel like it's everywhere. I feel like it's all over this room. It's also a good way for me to find yarn that I didn't know that I had, because the last time I reorganized this yarn, I found like 2 full skeins of like white that I didn't know that I had. So I pulled out this table. My plan is to just start taking yarn out, putting it on the table. In my handy dandy yarn journal, I can start a yarn page. I'll probably make a new spread and do my yarn tracker of 2025. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to start counting up my yarn, and then I'll check back in with you guys when we get to some sort of checkpoint. I can't say that I'm proud of this. I guess I'll start with this. This is the kind of yarn I'm referencing to in relation to my market. Like, I don't use this bunny faux fur yarn for like my actual clothing or like wearables or anything. So this will be easy to just like count and put away, I think. This is all like Dollar Tree chenille yarn that I'm hopefully going to use at my market. This is a collection I kind of regret buying. I just kept buying more and more because Dollar Tree doesn't always have the colors that I need in stock. So then when I find it, I buy it, and then I bought way too many. So, bunny fur yarn, starting with her. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 skeins of bunny fur yarn. All of these are untouched, unused. Why did I do this? Why? These count as more, but since they're all one, I'm going to count them as one. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25. Chunky yarn, or bulky yarn. Again, they're small, but they're counting as 1, 6, 8. All right, 8 super bulky, 2 jumbo. I forgot about this organizer over here that was holding all of this yarn. I was like, oh, I don't have that many. I'm surrounded by yarn. I have all these really teeny tiny scraps that I'm not going to count as their own ball. I'm going to start putting together baggies of scraps, which I think I already have started baggies of scraps in my drawers over there for like an eventual scrap project. The way that I choose to organize my yarn is typically by weight and then by color. So I keep all of my weight 3 together. I keep all of my acrylic, or weight 4 together. I keep my bulkies, my super bulkies, my jumbo. And then within that, which most of it is my weight 4, I do by color. So I have my warm tone bin and my cool tone bin. I am starting to fill these up again, and I still have this entire warm tone bin. So I have this basket, this cute little basket all put together, but I think I want to use this basket to organize all my cotton yarn, because that's another thing I'm trying to do, is use up yarn in their categories. So I'm trying to get more into like natural fibers and such. And just like lighter weight fibers. So I'm trying to use up my weight 4, but I also, to do that, I need to differentiate between my weight 4 and my, you know, weight 3 cottons and stuff like that. So I'm just having a bit of a, how am I going to organize all of this? How am I going to change it up, if I'm going to change it up? One way I am changing it up, or I'm gonna try, I thought I was gonna try, but I have so many that are like mostly full that I probably am just gonna have to have the basket on its own. But I have all of these like smaller ones, and my system before was storing all the smaller ones in one and then storing all my like non-used bigger ones in the other. And I thought I was going to combine them, and I combined it pretty well for the cool tones. Like this is like the full skeins, this is the smaller stuff. But for my warm tones, these are all like full-ish, if not completely full skeins, and it takes up an entire basket. So I don't think I can just like throw all my like used or partially used ones on top of here because it's so full. Yeah, anyways, I need to count all this and write it down as I go. Okay, trying to stay organized, trying to be on top of it. I'm winding as I go. This is so fun. I wasn't recording. Okay, let me start this over. Good morning, everyone. I'm just doing a last second check-in because I realized I organized all my yarn and then I just put it away. I didn't even show you. So I'm just going to show you guys my yarn storage really quick. I think the reason I didn't show is because it's not cute. It's not aesthetically pleasing. They're just back in the bins that they were in before. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those aesthetic yarn girlies with like a yarn wall or like cute organized like bin spaces, although I have seen like some discourse about that and how if you have like your yarn just out, it's like collecting dust and stuff. So I guess it's better that mine are just like in bins and stuff. I'm gonna show you guys my yarn storage. Again, it's not cute, it's functional, it's semi-organized. I went based off of like color and yarn type. Well, yarn type first, and then if I had a lot of it, i.e. wait for acrylic, by color. But yeah, so let me show you guys and that'll wrap up this section. So walking into the office, I have one of these 3x3 bins, and then I also have a 3x1 organizer over there, and that's where all my yarn is. So up here we've got warm toned, mostly full if not completely full skeins, and then in this one we've got bulky blanket yarn, and then also some bulky baby yarn. Oh my god. And then we've got my pounds of love, and then some even more extra. Like these were in here, and then this is a duplicate of like the full ones that are in here. So I've got some thick yarn, some Sherpa yarn, some pound of love, and some, this is just kind of like a combined like overflow of like, I only have like 2 pounds of love, I only have like a couple things of Sherpa, so yeah, but it's organized. And then this one is all of my bunny fur yarn and my faux fur yarn. This I use for plushies for my markets, so I just separated these by themselves. This is all of the Dollar Tree Just Chenille yarns. Yeah, there's way too many of those. And that's it for over here. Over here, we've got this little carousel. It holds my hooks. And then this is a lot of my, or this is all of my weight 3 yarn. So we've got some baby yarns here. We've got some Kobu yarn here. Just some miscellaneous weight 3 yarn. And then if we spin it ever so slightly, we've got some Capri Tencel yarn, and then this is, I think, technically weight 4, but it's polyester. They're all the same brand, just a couple different colors. I just add them here because these are like not specialty yarn, but I have the least amount of like weight 3 yarn. And then at the bottom of this glorious bookshelf, we've got the last little bit of jumbo yarn that I have, and then this is all my cotton yarn. I don't have that much cotton yarn. Slowly starting to work with it. This brand, the KC Cotton brand, is the first cotton yarn that I like the feeling of in my hands. So I haven't used these because I don't really like the feeling of cotton yarn, but I do like the feeling of these. So I got a couple cute colors of those. So we'll see what I end up making with that. This last little section over here, we've got all of my warm tones. These are clearly like used little skeins of warm tones. So I've got pinks, orange, red, white, yeah, warm tones. Next one down is my cool tones. So we've got a couple full skeins in here because I have way less cool tones than I have warm tones. But then we have a bunch of small used skeins. And then last but not least, if I can move my projects out of the way, we've got my multicolored variegated yarns. So some of these are like pretty full. That one I think is almost completely full. That one I've never used. That one I think is completely full. But then the rest of these are just little leftovers. But these are all my multicolored variegated yarns. They're different weights. Like this one is like a fingering weight. This one is a bulky. And then the rest I think are weight 4, but this is just how I organize my multicolored ones because I don't tend to reach for these, but when I do, I know where all of them are. Really quick, I'm gonna do a rundown of all of the skeins that I have, all the different types of yarn. Give you a grand total. Bunny fur yarn, we have 12. Faux fur yarn, 2. Just chenille, 25. That's the Dollar Tree chenille yarn. Jumbo yarn, 2. Super bulky, 8. Baby bear, which is just like a bulky big twist yarn. Baby bear, 4. Cotton yarn, 11. Weight 3 yarn, 19. Sherpa yarn, 4. Thick and quick, 2. Lazy Days / polyester yarn, 6. Warm toned, weight 4 acrylic is 61. Cool toned, weight 4 acrylic is 37. I have 3 pounds of love, 4 skeins of velvet, 6 of cream cotton, 25 of multicolored / variegated yarn, and 3 hand-dyed skeins for a grand total of 234 skeins. So this is my total as of January 2025. I left space here, and my plan is to draw a line, and then at the end of 2025, why am I saying it like that? At the end of 2025, I will go through all of these again, add in any more if I have, you know, any other categories of yarn that I want to add, and call it good. I could have just done like a base count of like all of my yarn, but I think it's kind of fun to see like the different types of yarn that I have. Obviously it's not like per brand or anything like that. It's just simply like all my jumbo, all my bulky, all my acrylic, whatever. But yeah, so we have 234 skeins. I will obviously let you guys know at the end of the year what my new total is. But yeah, so now I'm going to go through all of these empty ones. They're not all my empties, but they're most of them, and I'm going to categorize them by like types. So I've got like Pound of Love, Big Twist, Value Brand, stuff like that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll get right back to you. Okay. Update. I have sorted out all of my empties. Now, this is not a grand total for how many skeins I used in 2024 because I did not count that. I have a lot of yarn that I have finished that I don't have the labels for anymore. I just wound them up and put them in my yarn stash without a label. So I likely used a good amount more than this amount, but drumroll please, my final amount of labels for the year of 2024 is 53. So at the very least, I got through 53 skeins of yarn, which seems kind of crazy. I'm gonna look back at this in a year and compare the two, but minimum of 53 for the whole year, it's kind of crazy. But if anyone cares, we're going to get into some specifics. I had I used 3 skeins of Sherpa, 2 skeins of faux fur, 4 skeins of Bernat Blanket, 4 skeins of Big Twist Living in the color Spirit. That's the lesbian yarn. I used 4 of those this year. 6 skeins of Loops and Threads Impeccable yarn. 2 of Loops and Threads Soft Classic. 2 by Red Heart. One of them is a Super Saver. One of them, this is seriously so old, I don't know what it is, but 2 skeins of Red Heart. 1 skein of Big Twist Plush. 3 skeins of Big Twist Value. 1 Karen Pound of Love. 1 1 Karen 1 pound, 1 Lion Brand Pound of Love. Six skeins from Yarn Bee. 3 of them were the Eternal Bliss jumbo yarn. 2 of them were the Cozy Occasion, which is the bulky blanket yarn. And then 1 skein of faux fur yarn. Speaking of more faux fur, 5 skeins of the bunny faux fur yarn that I get from Amazon. Those are my like Jellycat plush yarns. I used 5 of those. I used 1 Skein Tones. I used 2 of Lion Brand's Basic Stitch. I used 1 Dollar Tree Just Yarn Tweed, 2 of the Dollar Tree Just Yarn Worsted Weight. And then last but not least, 6 of the Dollar Tree Just Chenille. So that is everything. I thought it was pretty interesting to see all of the statistics for everything. I am going to keep a log for the year of everything that I use and everything that I make. I'm going to keep track of all of the skeins that I finish and probably do another like little baggie of them so I can do another little overview at the end of this year. And yeah, that's all I got. So grand total, I used minimum of 53 skeins last year, and I have currently 234 skeins to use. Now a good chunk of that is market only yarn, 25 of the chenille, I want to say 12 of the bunny fur, so that's 37 out of the 234. So I have like a little less than 200 of yarn that I can use for anything, but grand total is 53, minimum 53 used in the year of 2024 and 234 ready to be used in the year of 2025. So yeah, it's kind of a weird little like silly just like statistics video, but I just thought it would be interesting to look at, and if for no one else but for myself, I thought it was interesting. So let me know what you guys think about my yarn stash and my yarn usage. Let me know what goal you think I can hit for 2025. Like how many skeins do you think of yarn I could use? If I used 53 this year, how many should we go for? Not that I'm trying to, let me just preface this, I'm not trying to use up the yarn in like a overconsumption way, but in like a I have so much yarn, like I need to use this yarn before buying anything else. So I'm not trying to like use up a lot of yarn. Like the goal is not to use up a lot. The goal is to use what I have. But yeah, let me know what your guys' plans are for all of the yarn that you guys have. Let me know if you're on a yarn buying ban or if you're trying to just be more mindful of your yarn usage and consumption. Just let me know. But that is it. I hope you guys have a great morning, evening, whatever it is, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.